Djuanda University realizes the importance of synergy for the advancement of an educational institution. Through cooperation with various parties, both public and private, domestic and abroad, we are confident we'll achieve the vision of being a quality university to educate the nation united.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Bogor, West Java, Indonesia, we are welcoming you all in this stage of Djuanda International Webinar. I'm Zahra Lathifa, will be your moderator today. Germany, Switzerland, Iraq, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Brunei, and of course from Indonesia. Here is Vice Chancellor as representative of our Honorable Chancellor and Rector who join us today. We are welcoming you to Dr. MSc, and then let's open our agenda today by reciting Al-Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable audience, here are our speakers today. The first speaker I would like to introduce you is Prof. Sonny Zulhuda from International Islamic University, Malaysia. He is a Web Science Summer Doctoral Scholar from University of Oxford, UK, and a two-time fellow of the US-based Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. He's also a fellow researcher for Cyber Stewards Network, hosted at the Citizen Lab University of Toronto, Canada. He is also a core member of the Research Alliance for Data Governance and Cybersecurity, hosted in Beijing, China. His research interests cover the dynamic intersections between law, technology, and governance, with more than 15 years of training and advisory works for public and private entities across all industries and sectors in the region. Hello, Prof. Sonny Zulhuda. Assalamualaikum. Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The second speaker, I would like to introduce Prof. Fitriana from UCSI Kuala Lumpur University, Malaysia, doing her PhD in educational psychology. She focuses in psychology, teaching development, and guidance and counseling. Silver medal on Malacca Intellectual Invention and Innovation Exposition, novel software for movement-based early simulation to enhance language acquisition of children with ASD, and also she got bronze medal Invention, Innovation, and Design Exposition, novel software for movement-based early simulation to enhance cognitive skills of children with ASD, and the bronze medal to Invention, Innovation, and Design Exposition, a novel software for movement-based early simulation to enhance cognitive skills of children with ASD based on functional behavioral assessment. Hello, Prof. Fitriana. Assalamualaikum, Madam. Prof. Mimi, are you with us? Okay, let's continue. For the third one is associate
yes, I'm sorry. Yes, sorry.
Okay, it's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. Okay, how are you?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so happy to see you and everyone else here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the third speaker is Associate Professor Khalid Ismail Mustafa from Koya University, Kurdistan, Iraq. He got plenty honors and awards, such from 203 till now. Some of them are Presidency Office of Koya University, Presidency Office of Ramadan University, Directorate of Koya Education, Ministry of Education, PhD in Philosophy of Education with specialization in instructional technology. Hello, Prof. Khalid. Assalamualaikum. Are you with us today? Prof. Khalid? Okay, while waiting for him, the next speaker I would like to introduce you is Elizabeth Diana Dewi, Bachelor of Human Sciences, Master of International Relations, and got several positions that have been occupied by was Directorate General of ASEAN Corporation at 208 Apprenticeship, Indonesian Embassy in The Hague, Directorate General of Asia Pacific and Africa, staff of the Directorate of ASEAN Economic Corporation, third and second secretary, Indonesian Embassy in Bangkok, head of section for finance and development, director Middle East, head of international economics and finance subdivision, Center for Multilateral P2K, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Consul Protocol and Consulate General in Istanbul right now. Hello, Mrs. Elizabeth Diana Dewi, are you with us today?
Yes, Ustazah Zahra, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Happy to see you on all other guests as well. Hello, Prof.
Okay.
Mimi. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, the last speaker we have Dr. Haja Ersid Pupu Fauziah, MPDI, Director of PT Mutiara Permata Biru Property at Batam at 203, Chairperson of Al-Ittihadiyah Center for Muslimat Leadership at 211, Head of EPSPAI Elementary and Secondary Education, Dean of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Djuanda University at 214, Chairperson of EPSPAI Foundation at 2017 until present. Her interest was character education and management of guidance and counseling. And those are all our outstanding speakers today. I'm sorry because I cannot read your complete CV one by one because of the limited time, but it would be an honor for us to have you joining us today in our stage. And for the first time, of course, I would like to take the issues about sharing user data without permission or illegally. Actually, it's become an obstacle in remote learning process. So we would like to hear from Associate Professor Sonny Zulhuda, PhD, to tell us about something or many things about it. Okay, please, the time is for you, Prof. Sonny.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Salatullah wa salamuhu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizer, Madam Zahra, and all the leadership and the management at University of Djuanda. Thank you for having me at this very special occasion. And by far, I must say that this is the largest crowd I ever have for my webinar, for my online seminar. Yeah, we have more than 200 people around, and it's a very good turnout. And I must congratulate UNIDA for organizing this event. Without further ado, I will present my part here, and allow me to share my screen. Yeah, to share the screen, and we'll show you the materials. Can I have the host to allow the screen sharing for me? Thank you. It is still disabled, yeah?
Okay, it takes some minutes. It already sent.
Yeah, I'm trying to screen share. Okay. Oh, so you're actually running the slide for me? Are you running the slide for me?
Yes, yes. No,
Oh,
no,
fine.
yes, okay, okay.
Fine, fine. That is fine. So I will let the organizer to run the slides for me. Let me just do the talking. Okay, thank you very much. I also can share with everyone here, the participants, that this slide is also available in my blog. Yeah, you may want to check out the drop by my blog later on after the event, and I'll show you the address that which is actually just my name. Yeah, sonnyzulhuda.com. Okay, I appreciate the initiative by the organizer to start with me in discussing about remote learning platforms, about remote learning and teaching. Yeah, as I know, this is hosted by the Faculty of Education in UNIDA. So I was in the first place asking the organizer, why would you have me in this seminar coming from a legal background? So I appreciate that it is very crucial, it is very important to start everything legal, everything being protected. So I'm happy to share with the participants at this seminar, at this conference, those issues from the legal and operational perspectives when it comes to a remote learning platform. So I will proceed now to the next page in my slide. As you will see, the points of my talk include, among others, the first would be scrutinizing the features of the remote teaching on remote learning, which is actually the next slide, please. Yeah, from that side, from that point, I will show you some legal issues and concerns. There are 3 of them, which are there and which will be discussed in further details. Okay, let us start with the next point, which is the introduction to this. As we all know, all of us here, I think everyone, almost everyone, yeah, when we are embracing into these new norms due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the government told us to stay at home, and all the activities will have to be done from home. So this leads us to go to this online methods. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. And we start to work from home using these online methodologies. Everybody is now online for work, yeah, for studying, for learning, for research, and then even for playing games, and for casual chats and communications, and for shopping. So we realize that we are witnessing an unprecedented situation where so many people are flocking into the cyberspace at one time. And we have heard cases such as online application of Zoom, the one that we are currently using. Maybe you have heard that there had been reports by people worldwide when they use Zoom in the first place. This is a story about 1 or 2 months ago that they found problem using Zoom. What actually happened was this Zoom application, before this COVID-19 pandemic, they used to receive only 2 million users at any given day on average. Yeah, 2 million, I must repeat. Then what happens after the COVID-19 pandemic, the users of the application increase, yeah, to 200 million, yeah, from 2 million to 200 million people on one day. So you can imagine if you have a restaurant used to cater only like 20 people per day, and suddenly you get 100, 100, multiplied numbers of users, and certainly you are not ready. So this is what happening. Therefore, we have to be very equipped. We have to get ready ourselves with this remote learning. We have to look around and see lots of risk as well as requirements will be needed. Be it from technical perspective. From technical means you have to be ready to choose which best or which application works best for you, for the both for the institution as well as for the learners, yeah, for the students, yeah, for the teachers as well. So we want to have this kind of judgment. You have to have this judgment and call to decide, yeah. So this requires some strategic planning. And alongside with that operational issue, there will be some very fundamental legal issues for you to be prepared. Or otherwise, if you are not preparing or you are not prepared with these legal concerns, legal issues, then this remote teaching learning may turn out to be detrimental or counterproductive to what you want to achieve, yeah, with this remote learning. Because now, recently, as I made up my readings, yeah, for this conference, I did my homework, and I see, or I read there had been few legal suits, yeah. There had been some legal suits against the universities, and especially this happened in the United States, yeah. In the United States, there had been cases in court where students, yeah, or some individuals suing the universities. Why? Because they are not happy with the remote teaching and learning being offered to them. Some of them, they argued that they never had consented, and after all, they already paid so much. They paid so much to be a Harvard student, for example, to be this Ivy League university students, but they ended up staying in their home, you know, their own place, and only receiving online teaching and learning. So some of these people, they argue there had been breach of contracts, you know, and so on. But this is only one issue, which is a breach of contract. So we want to ensure that this remote teaching and learning is something which is readily accepted by everyone. We don't want to be seen as forcing students. Yeah, we are not forcing students to receive, but they need to understand that this is part of the whole package, part of the whole method. Yeah, and for the time being, you just simply cannot go to classes and cannot join, synchronous teaching methods. Therefore, we have this method as an alternative. So this is one issue, but I will show you a little bit more issues from legal perspectives. Can we move to the next slide, please?
Okay.
Right. As you see from this slide, this is a lot of questions, queries. If you are the one to decide whether we should go for remote teaching and learning for our students, then most likely you will have to face issues such as all this, the one I mentioned in this slide. Yeah. What about the connectivity? This is one of very basic thing. You want to impose the online learning and teaching to students, but realistically, this is not very conducive to students because either they don't have the required gadget, they don't have, or maybe they have the gadget which is not up to the standard, or maybe it is about connectivity. They are somewhere, somewhere remote areas or somewhere places where the connectivity is just bad. Now we have to consider this very fundamental situation, and otherwise, if you still decide to impose remote teaching in such a situation, the chance is that you may have some legal problems, because they are not supposed to be forced with something that they don't necessarily agree. Yeah, this online teaching and remote learning is based on contract between you and students, between universities and students. There is a contract, so we need to get back to see whether or not the current contract is actually giving some space or room for you to apply online teaching and remote learning. by which, and if you say yes, then at least you can be safe that this is part of what is being accepted as term of use. And you have many other issues, as you see here in this slide, yeah? Issues about ebook, then instructional design online, what about mobile apps, which apps you want to use, then which video conferencing tools you want to use, what about applying gamification, yeah? Gaming theory to education, okay? What about using augmented reality as if students are at home, but as if they are seeing their lecturer beside them? This is called augmented reality, yeah, AR. And then also issues of privacy, security, yeah, literacy, and so on. It is not actually simple. And in the it is good to start. Anyway, it is good to start, and we have to start because it seems that we don't have much choice, yeah, at this moment. You have to start with online meeting, with online teaching, you know, and so on. But then we better be prepared, especially as an institution, we better be prepared of these issues. Okay, now we move to the specific situation, specific issues, please. Is my voice so far clear?
Yes.
Clear, quiet, clear.
Very clear, Dr.
Quiet,
Thank you.
clear. Quiet, clear.
Yeah, I hope it is not too loud, otherwise it will hurt the listeners, yeah? Okay, I'll show you, basically there are 3 slides. I like to summarize many things into 3 slides. Slide 1 is issue number 1. It is about identities and identification. You don't want to have an online teaching by where you are not knowing, yeah, who are the people at the other end. You don't want that. That's why always we don't allow anonymity. Yeah, people must reveal their identities. People must show who they are, and therefore we can say yes, you are allowed and you are eligible to join this class. Otherwise, it is like illegal, you know, intrusion. Yeah, so there is an issue of identities and identification. We need to identify all the participants in the remote teaching and learning. Yeah. Make sure everyone is identified. Otherwise, and you have heard these cases affecting users of Zoom application before, that some people in the meeting, they sabotage the meeting. This is what we call as Zoom bombing. Yeah, Zoom bombing, because we don't know them. They are actually there only to disrupt the meeting, and therefore they will they will show a lot of offensive contents, offensive materials, and we don't want this to happen. Yeah, that's why identification is very important. Situation is very important, first thing. And then need to identify third parties involved and their roles. This is also important because why? When you apply online learning, remote learning, for sure, this is more, a bigger chance is that you are using third-party application. What is that third-party application? That is those application or those solution which are not provided by you or by the university. That means you are actually allowing another person to join in the process. For example, when you use Zoom, you use Zoom, Skype, or anything else, or even social media, you are actually involving a third party. Yeah, you are actually involving a third party in the process, and therefore you need to be very sure that these third parties are identified, as well as you know, their role is also being limited. Yeah.
Okay, Prof. Sonny, please.
Yes.
You have 1 more minute only.
MashaAllah. Yeah, I'm happy and sad. Anyway, but I will show you very, maybe I can discuss later on during dialogue. So first is the identities and identification. Next, the next issue, please. It is about the materials and the content. Basically, this is about content. So you want to share content online. You must make sure that this content belongs to you or belongs to university, and it doesn't belong to a third party. Because if it belongs to a third party, make sure you have consent and you have a license to use it. This is an issue of intellectual property. Yeah, and remember that when it comes digital, so if it belongs to someone else, it is very easy to spread over to other people, and then you will be known. I mean, people will know that you are using unlicensed materials. So you don't want this to happen and to cause embarrassment to you and the universities. and therefore intellectual property issues is very important. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the gist. And then the last slide, the last issue here, issue number 1, 2, and 3, please. Okay. Now this is about communication. So let me summarize. The first was about the identity. Second, about content. The third is about how you communicate. Yeah. And now this is where you have to make sure you have all the rules. What are the do's and the don'ts? Yeah. Avoid using offensive materials, offensive languages. And also you ensure that if there is any complaint, you have the dispute resolution mechanism, yeah? And then you secure the privacy and the security of people, yeah? Especially if you are dealing with minors, yeah? People below 17 in Indonesia, I think, or below 18 in Malaysia. So if you deal with minors, then you make sure that, rules under the children protection law will be complied with. Yeah. Okay, that is the summary of the concerns. Let's go further to the concluding part. This is just to show you, if you want to talk about legal matters, make sure you identify what laws, yeah, that can be relevant. Yeah. So you need to get your legal counsel or lawyers with you and make sure that your remote teaching and learning is in compliance with all these relevant and applicable laws, and this will differ from one country to another. The one I show you is for Indonesia. Yeah, next please. Okay, this is my conclusion. Yeah, it is good to reach here. In my conclusion, it is very important before you go further and make use of the beauty of the technology in your remote teaching and learning, make sure you are legally protected. Not only for you individually, but also the institution. Remember, you are representing the institution, and therefore the liability of the institution depends on you. If you do things wrong, you may cause either embarrassment or even legal liabilities, not only to yourself, but also to the institution. Therefore, it is important for you first to identify the law, yeah, which will be applicable. Second, to manage those risks. Manage means you have to know what could be the risk, what should be done in order to avoid those legal risks, including legal liabilities. Yeah. But last but not least, it is very important to ensure that all people have the enough literacy and advocacy, especially what to do and what not to do with all these technologies. Not only for the students, but also for the instructors. And I reckon if the instructors involve some elderly people, elderly colleagues, it will take a little bit time, but you have to be very patient, yeah, to educate everyone in the remote teaching and learning. Yes, that is the concluding part, and I think I'll show you in the last slide here. Okay, thank you. So there is the address for my blog or for my website. Everyone can go to this website later, sonnyzulhuda.com, and then you will see at the last item is about this presentation, and you can download my slide from there, inshallah. So that will be all. That's all. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for having me. I shall welcome any questions in. Thank you, Madam Zahra. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello? Okay. Thank you, Sonny. I'm sorry because there is some technical error. Just a little bit. Okay. Thank you. Something that I can summarize from your presentation is that the data is a visual of confidentiality of the data. Is it for the institution or for public? That's okay. Before we step into the next speaker, I think I want to first greet or to call Khalid, Dr. Khalid.
Masuk aja, pakai sendalnya ke sini.
Are you already with us? Because
ininya dihilangin.
Okay, I also want to call Dr. Siti Fauziah, are you with us, madam?
Aku mau ini kopi ya di flash ID.
Okay, okay. Okay, while waiting for some speakers, we want to speaker, Prof. Fitriana Zaini Basha from UCSI, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Yes. Prof. Mimi?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Can you hear me, Madam Zahra? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
All
quite
right.
clear. Yes.
Okay, good.
This
Alhamdulillah.
time is available for you right now.
Thank you very much. I would like to express my sincere gratitude, to Madam Zahra who organized this session, and also for the Djuanda University for this beautiful organization of this education platform. So as Dr. Sonny mentioned earlier, this is also my first time having a large number of participants. I would like to welcome everyone to this beautiful session. This is a very good educational platform, in terms of legal issues and psychological and whatnot. So here I would like to discuss with the participants, on the perspective of psychology. Dr. Sonny talks about perspectives of legal perspective. I'm talking about the psychological perspective. So, Madam Zahra, you would like to share my slide, or I can share my slide? Doesn't matter.
We can share your slide.
All right. The topic was provided for me for this particular session is the learning platforms based, and students' age, psychological implications. So it means it's very clear, how to match. Prof. Sonny discussed a lot about the legal requirements. Very good, because when I try to for this particular session, the legal requirements, and automatically he also mentioned about education. At the end, meaning that for the last use of remote learning. So in conclusion, he talks about there are some things, there are some things that we have to understand how to use the platform, right? So here, how do we look at this from the perspective in psychology? Learning platform, as I adopted here from the Paisley and Higgins 2011, from the Journal of Learning, Media and Technology. Very interesting. Dr. Sonny earlier clearly mentioned on the specification from legal procedures. Here we also talk about specification from psychological procedure. All right. So meaning that, as we understand that there are too many varieties, and varieties of methods or tools, or perhaps we can specify them into two. Number one is the learning platforms for the purpose of education, or for the use of educational courses online, right? And another one is the learning platform for the tools itself. So we must be very clear here. I am talking from the perspective of education, or educators, as well as the psychologists. So meaning that here we have to be very careful when we are going to apply, because we are going to match the nature of our clients or the nature of our students, whether it is primary students or perhaps secondary or maybe high school or university, in fact, all right? So here is the responsibility of the educators himself or herself, meaning that this particular agent must be very aware or vigilant in order to check. So meaning that some educators, or most of the educators, must be provided with training, if I might say so. So training on how to understand the platforms, learning platforms for the use of educational courses, online courses, At the same time, for the tools here, as we look at this screen here, we have the second slide here. It shows Educadian, for example, Teachable. The second one, Teachable, for example, or Udemy, Wise IQ. So those belong to the platform, learning platform of educational or education courses online. However, there are tools, in order to apply this method by using Zoom. Dr. Sonny mentioned about the implication of Zoom, using Zooms, Also, there are implications of using Edmodo. So, is this Zoom particularly useful for our early children? Younger age of children? or is it very useful for the university student? So we have to be very precise and careful to look at the use of every single tool, yeah, to connect to the psychological implication. What sort of, impacts, yeah, in psychology that we can observe, yeah. For example, let me give a just take one second for the example, yeah. Here, if I give Zoom, yeah, or perhaps I do pre-recording YouTube, yeah, in my own channel, for example, and to provide this to the secondary school students, yeah. So in the channel, students can look at, yeah, and definitely they will look at those other information beside my own information. So will that be appropriate, yeah, to be used for those high school students or not yet? Or perhaps it is very excellent to be used for the university students. Can I have the third slide, Madam Zahra? All right, so we go on. Here, very clear. We have offline, we have online. What are the psychological implications of this? For offline, definitely. Yeah, because students come to classes as usual, right? Prof. Sonny mentioned earlier about the implication, yeah? And then the online, also, there are some implication here. Yeah, for offline, definitely students sit probably randomly, probably behind or in front, yeah? So that is also identification of significant psychological impact when students sit in front or at the back in the classroom. However, online system, yeah, it is very rich. The content is very rich, yeah. And then at the same time, teachers have no control over the gadget use, yeah. Excuse me. Then prone to misuse the gadget. So here, however, through online system, yeah, everybody is available. Everybody is just paying attention, right? Because again, that goes back to the requirement by the educators. Yeah, if educators would like to, yeah, educators must set up the ground rule for the online application, because offline application, right? Psychologically, people will be, or educators will be facing the students straight away. Correct? Yes. However, the online doesn't mean that does not face the students straight away, but it is online. Yeah. So there are significant differences, yeah, between the offline and online. And here we are talking about this remote learning, yeah, online learning or learning platform through online. Can I have the next one, please? All right. So again, learning platforms here, we don't want to repeat what Sonny has mentioned, a little bit on the significant, yeah? Because usually or initially, learning platform has been introduced to the higher education people, all right? Because they are secondary school students or from primary school, not that necessary. However, because of this COVID and probably similar pattern of problem might happen again and again in the future, yeah? So therefore, the online platform must be urgently needed. All right. So in order to accommodate the ability of these online platforms, yeah, nowadays it is available. Edmodo has been used by many, by many of the educators around the world. Yeah, my son in the high school also using Edmodo. Yeah, so there's an improvement in teaching. Yeah, not only to improve in teaching and learning in particular, but it is a collection of tools, yeah, to improve the capacity of schools itself and the university. So that is another indication of learning platform. Now, having this, how do we connect this? Yeah, whether the university students are available for certain tools, all right, and what are the psychological implications that they might have? Yeah, or perhaps the school students, when they are forced to use Edmodo, for example, is that very beneficial for them? Yeah. So this indication require teachers and lecturers to be very well aware. Yeah, to be very well aware or paying attention for this, because and that is the responsibility. Excuse me. Yeah? There is a responsibility, yeah, of the institution per se, yeah, because it belongs, as Dr. Sonny mentioned, that there are legal procedures, right? So meaning that this agent institution must be responsible for this acceptance of legal procedure or doing the procedure legally, because at the end there will be a prolonged psychological impact for the students. Yeah, the don'ts and the do's. Yeah, there will be prolonged psychological impact. Yeah, can I have the next slide, please? Excuse me. Okay, now this learning platform and the implication in institution according to this research, yeah, very interesting in the management of educational practices. Not only that, because university has this platform, yeah, prospective and retrospective pedagogies. So this is the enrichment of the capacity in education purposes, yeah, from E+ learning to e-learning, for example, yeah. So e-learning, integrated technology, yeah, inward facing and outward facing. There are too many implications of this. So all of these implications will indicate psychological impact, yeah. So what sort of educational practices that children at the age of primary, for example, at the age of secondary, at the age of high school, or perhaps university level, yeah, or probably open university, like what we have in Malaysia, yeah, open university. So these education practices will be suitable, yeah, to be used, yeah, by all the participants, yeah, or recipients, yeah, but what we call recipient is all the learners here, okay, whether it is beneficial, benefiting the inward facing activity, meaning that the internal ability or internal academicians, all right, or the internal non-academician of that particular institution, or the outward facing, whether the relationship and integrity is established, yeah, between teachers and the responsible recipients. So those are the psychological implication. Yeah, without having this psychological implication, there'll be no liking, yeah, of online platform. Yeah, there must be. So the educators must be very careful in selecting the tools. Yeah, for the next slides, please. Okay, therefore, here in psychology, because it is a prolonged impact, yeah, when we are facing this online platform, it is a prolonged impact. Specifically, when we talk about cognitive psychology here, all right, because research has shown tremendous change in the capacity of retention, okay, by the recipients. So it doesn't mean that online has a lot of problems, no, but we have to be careful indeed, right? But whether it is offline or online, there must be psychological prolonged impact, yeah? Here, we talk about the cognitive reasoning, all right? What the capacity here in the sensory regulation, because we are occupied, yeah, with the 3 storages of memory, right? I believe everybody knows that, yeah? Sensory registration or sensory motor system of memory, yeah, short-term memory and long-term memory. So the capacity of retention has been proven by many research in psychology in order to retrieve the attention back. Because in sensory motor system or in sensory memory, yeah, recipients or learners, they will just pay attention quite big, yeah, larger amount, yeah, even though it will be very quick to be dismissed, yeah, but recognition pattern happen into this and sensory registration, okay. So here, retention happens quite often, yeah, because the ability facing the internet, or I mean facing the laptop or facing the gadget, yeah, because meaning that they will pay full attention. To compare to the offline, according to research, to compare to the offline, yeah, students are sitting at the back, for example, they are not interested in our class example, they keep playing phone example, yeah, if the lecturer or the educators or teachers does not or allow the phone to be inside the classroom, yeah, which is not supposed to be recommended actually. However, in the offline system, yeah, those capacity will not be occurring most of the times. According to research, retention will be happening a lot here in the sensory registration. Now, having the sensory motor as information processing model precisely described on the elaboration and rehearsal of the activities. So meaning that these are all the activities of the information or cognitive information, yeah? So having online, particularly forcing students, yeah, to be deliberately focusing, right? When they pay attention, it means that they will, provide the 100% ability. So this is why the retention happens, yeah? The way they recall and the way they retrieve information all over again, happen and happen again, yeah? Okay, the next slide, please. Okay, so as I said earlier, excuse me, there are the reciprocal determinism, right? When we talk about the platforms here, online platforms, yeah, in psychology, we discuss on the implication on cognitive, emotion, and social, definitely, yeah. I believe participants know this better than me, right? Because when we discuss about online system, yeah, and prolonged impact of cognitive functioning, yeah, because in neuropsychology, we discuss about how well the students will occupy their, their storage, yeah, in their frontal lobe, yeah. So the capacity in frontal lobe, yeah. So will be directly connected to parietal lobe and so on and so forth, right? So those junctions in our, cervical cortex here, yeah, in our brain, will help the development of cognitive. When it is online, yeah, research talks about direct implication or direct impact of cognitive reasoning happens, all right? And number two, emotion capacity, all right? So during online, we know what happened to our students, especially when you are using Zoom. Definitely, we can ask them to open the video and we can see everybody in front of us, right? So we control. And here we talk about emotion regulation in psychology, yeah, where research talks about the increased tremendous changes of the stability, yeah, of emotion by recipients, right, in terms of having online platform, which is actually very interesting for me, yeah, because so far we know only offline, yeah, contribution to our psychological implication. Okay, so there are some changes among students. Yes, Madam Zahra?
Okay. Yes, you have one more minute.
Oh, okay. I will conclude. Yeah, and the last one is social functioning. Yeah, so interaction among students happen here. All right, and then not only that, the capacity of more interaction, socially accepted. Yeah, so I mean socially acceptable. All right, and all the tendency, yeah, to have more peer coaching or peer teaching and peer what do you call that, discussion will be happening. Can I have the next one, please? Okay, so I would like to summarize. In psychological implication of learning platform and ages, they should be very much into the concern of the educators, yeah? Because here in psychology, there are two theories talking about that as the implication. Number one, from the theory of Piaget, I believe everybody knows this. We are concerning on the stage of concrete and formal operation, 7 to 11 and 11 years and above. Only these two. The first two, please do not focus because online system doesn't happen to them, right? Oh, all right. So what happened to this age? Yeah, especially in pre-operational, yes, right? A little bit system. So Piaget talks about cognitive registration. Yeah. While the next slide, please, Madam Zahra. Yeah, just to conclude, the next slide, please.
Yes.
Piaget
Next
talks
slide.
about Piaget talks about the cognitive implication, right? As I discussed earlier, and then now Vygotsky, 1978, discussed about ZPD and scaffolding. Where is the best time for the kids or for the students? Yeah, discuss about this when they have loosened their ability to be independent. Now, if are no longer, the absence of independent capacity, according to Vygotsky, technology and tools will be required. So this is where the online capacity or platform is very important for the children because it is scaffolding. Children can learn better from their educator, can learn better from their teachers or from their lecturers here. There are a lot of strategies to be done online, right? So this is, we call that as scaffolding in social interaction theory of Vygotsky. Just to sum up my what do you call that, sharing session here, Madam Zahra, the last one, please.
Yes.
Right. So here, learning is variety. Yeah. Having discussed a lot of methods of learning is variety. Whether it is offline, online, doesn't matter. But our focus is at this critical or this particular COVID, or the similar thing happened for the next probably, now the villa, But my focus here is the learning ability itself that we can establish for our students, especially during this critical moment. So what is the function of a platform here or learning platform online especially? We must discuss on the academician properties. All right. So of course in psychology of classical conditioning, which is very unique and classic, traditional method, classroom, so one single entity, but operational conditioning as well by Skinner, right? So the last one is social cognitive learning theory. Is the most applicable, in an online system. All right. So having said this very short session with you, I hope this is it can benefit everyone and myself. All right. So online system doesn't mean it does not provide only the positive function for the cognitive and recognition, but also retention ability of the children. and it improves cognitive function, emotion, and social ability of the children. I end my speech. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's very interesting, Prof. Mimi.
Thank you very much.
Yes, some points that I can underline. Then actually learning result permanent change. Either it is online or offline. They have its own beneficial, of course. And then remote learning actually specifically promotes online with its consequences. I think that, okay. Thank you, Prof. Mimi, again. Okay, next I want to address to Prof. Khalid. Okay, Prof. Khalid has some technical error, but I assure you all that he will join us soon. So we would like to step into the next speaker, Dr. Siti Pupu Fauziah. Are you with us, Doctor? Madam Siti Pupu Fauziah?
Yes.
Okay. We have Madam Pupu right now. Yes. I cannot see you.
Okay.
Do you want to deliver in English or in Bahasa? Yes.
Bilingual.
Okay. Yes, please. The time is available for you right now. Thank you.
Bilingual.
Yes. Yes, please. Doctor?
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes.
Halo, Miss Zahra.
Yes. Can you see our your slide on the screen? Yes.
Thank you.
We started right now. Okay, the time is for you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I would like to thank for our moderator, Mr. Zahra Lathifa, the Dean of the Faculty of Teacher Training Education in Djuanda University. Hatur nuhun, jazakallah khairan katsira. I am glad to be here with another speaker for Professor University Malaysia. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Khalid Ismail Mustafa and Mrs. Elizabeth Diana Dewi from Indonesia, Professor Dr. Mimi Fitriana, UCSI University Malaysia. Thank you for willing to join us in webinar University Djuanda today. Terima kasih banyak, jazakallah khairan katsira, and thank you to the participation of the webinar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. About transcendental curriculum in the era of pandemic to great student character. Materi saya hari ini adalah tentang kurikulum transadental di era pandemik untuk membangun karakter murid. Next slide. Okay, next. First, di dalam slide pertama itu saya menampilkan tentang sebuah kapal besar yang muatannya juga banyak di tengah lautan dengan tulisan if you feel the test as big as the ship, then rest as Allah provide goodness as great as the ocean. In Quran, Di dalam Al-Quran dijelaskan dalam surat Al-Baqarah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, la yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha laha maktasabat wa 'alaiha maktasabat. Allah tidak membebani seseorang melainkan dengan kesanggupannya. Dia akan mendapatkan pahala dan kebajikan dari apa yang dikerjakannya, dan dia akan mendapat siksa dari kejahatan yang diperbuatnya. Next. What is the transcendental? Apa itu transcendental? Transcendental is the tauhid, oneness, unity, and monotheism. If you look for the word tauhid in the Holy Quran, it's not far, but there is one word with ummatan wahidah. Di dalam Al-Quran itu tidak ada kata-kata tauhid, yang ada adalah ummatan wahidah. Bagaimana kita adalah umat yang satu pada awalnya. Dalam surat Al-Baqarah juga dijelaskan karena nasu ummatan wahidah. Fa ba'atsallahu nabiyyina mubashshirina wa mudina wa anzala ma'ahumul kitaba bil haqqi liyahkuma bainan nasi fi ma ikhtalafu fihi wa ma ikhtalafu fihi ila alladzina utuhu min ba'di ma ja'atuhumul bayyinatu bainahum fahadallahu alladzina amanu lima ikhtalafu fihi minal haqqi bi'iznillah wallahu yahdi man yasha'u ila siratal mustaqim. Manusia itu dahulunya adalah satu. Transenden yang menyatukan manusia dengan Tuhannya. Nilai-nilai yang menyatukan hati dengan penciptanya. Immanuel kan yang pertama mengemukakan istilah transadental menyebutnya dengan istilah moksa. Moksa adalah bersatunya hati manusia, jiwa manusia dengan penciptanya. Dalam bahasa lain juga dikatakan transadental adalah reinkarnasi. Apapun istilah yang disampaikan, transadental adalah sebuah kesucian hati yang menghasilkan ketenangan, kebahagiaan, ketentraman, dan keselamatan. Apa yang menjadi visi transadental? Transcendental vision. Next slide. Miss Zahra. Okay. Transcendental vision, Al-Quran surah Asyam, verse 18, yang artinya adalah Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Falhamaha fujuraha wa taqwaha qad aflaha man zakaha wa qad khaba man dassaha. Di sana disampaikan, maka dia mengilhamkan kepadanya jalan kejahatan dan ketakwaan. Sesungguhnya beruntunglah orang-orang yang mensucikan jiwa. Ini adalah dan sungguh rugi orang-orang yang mengotorinya. Dalam ayat ini terdapat perintah hati yang suci, a clean heart, qalbun salim, peaceful soul, and mutmainnah. Ini adalah nilai-nilai transadental yang terkandung dalam visi transadental dalam surat Asyam. Oke, next slide. COVID-19 is the learning medium used by the Supreme Master Al-Alim to its human to be civilized, akhlakul karimah. Dalam Al-Quran surat Al-Baqarah ayat 155 sampai 156 itu dijelaskan wala nabluwannakum bisyai'in min khawf wa ju' wa taqsiman amwali wal anfusi was samarati wa basyiris sabirin. Dan sesungguhnya kami akan menguji kalian dengan sedikit rasa takut, rasa lapar, kekurangan harta, jiwa, dan buah-buahan. Dan berikanlah kabar gembira untuk orang-orang yang sabar. COVID-19 mengajari kita nilai-nilai transadental. Janjikan Allah ketika dia muncul, Allah akan memberikan kabar gembira. Di saat COVID-19, di mana orang, manusia, terutama takut, rasa cemas, rasa bosan, dan lain sebagainya. Oke, next slide. Apakah COVID-19 ini adalah sebuah anugerah? It's a gift. Benarkah ini sebuah anugerah? Full of the transcendental values, holistic, tauhid, human race united to fight in positive way. Bagaimana kita semua, seluruh penduduk bumi ini bersama-sama melawan COVID-19 dengan positif, dengan nilai-nilai yang diyakini oleh kita. Transcendental value in COVID-19 ini yang seharusnya kita angkat untuk menguatkan daya tahan tubuh kita, khususnya anak-anak kita. Anak-anak kita yang belum punya keterampilan, punya kekuatan, bagaimana caranya menghadapi efek COVID-19 seperti ketakutan, bosan, dan lain sebagainya. Menguatkan keyakinan, menyertai dengan Sang Pencipta sebagai value transcendental, itu meningkatkan imunitas tubuh kita dan mengikuti semua sunnah yang diajarkan oleh Rasul dan ajaran-ajaran transadental yang kita terima di dalam kitab suci Al-Quran maupun di dalam sunnah Rasul. Oke, next slide. Hadirnya COVID-19, a new dimension in the learning process baru. Outclass to social distancing on become remote learning, some impact dari belajar jarak jauh. Oke, next slide. Di antaranya adalah board problem, bosan. Oke, next slide, Miss Zahra. Board problem, bosan. Dealing with present is learning process. Orang tua yang kurang pengalaman dalam mengajar. Teacher workload is interesting. Guru yang stres. Bagaimana melakukan pembelajaran secara e-learning, melakukan pembelajaran jarak jauh dengan segala macam problemnya. Information and teknologi, literasi isu, keterbatasan orang menggunakan teknologi dan literasi, frustration and lost concentration of learning, frustasi dan kehilangan konsentrasi belajar karena mungkin bosan, jenuh, kurang menarik, tidak ada sambung rasa dan sebagainya. Lebih jauh lagi, ini bisa menimbulkan ketakutan dan kecemasan karena mungkin terlalu banyak berita-berita di sosial media yang semakin mengerikan tentang COVID-19. Oke, next slide. Nah, ini adalah, this is the phenomena, the Muslim community, boring, crying, and so on. Next slide. Anak-anak juga mulai kehilangan tempat mereka bermain, bersenda gurau, bahkan tempat beribadah. Ini adalah juga salah satu problem nyata yang dihadapi oleh murid-murid kita di sekolah. Oke, next slide. Core problem is remote learning system. Bagaimana guru, bagaimana kita mengatasi sistem belajar? No touching of soul, lack of emotion, no feeling, heartless. Ini adalah persoalan-persoalan yang tidak lain dan tidak bukan adalah bagaimana guru meningkatkan creativity, innovation in teaching. Because guru tetap berhadapan dengan murid yang memiliki keinginan untuk berinteraksi, berkomunikasi, berekspresi, menyalurkan emosi, kemudian juga mereka menerima sentuhan-sentuhan secara personal. Jika ini tidak dilakukan, maka problem-problem tadi akan muncul, boring dan lain sebagainya. How to solve? Bagaimana jalan keluarnya? Next slide. How to solve? Pandemic is the opportunity to show that Islam is the solution. Saatnya kita membuktikan kepada halayak bahwa Islam jalan keluar. The transcendental curriculum based on the Holy Quran and Sunnah is the only way to the salvation up to the world, the hereafter. Saatnya kita membuktikan bahwa Islam adalah rahmatan lil alamin dengan memunculkan nilai-nilai transadental transadental secara holistik dan komprehensif ke dalam seluruh pembelajaran yang kita lakukan. Oke, next slide. Mrs. Zahra, next slide. Look and see the apply it. Kita akan melihat bersama-sama bahwa pendidikan karakter yang nyata itu harus dilakukan secara holistik dan komprehensif. Di Indonesia terdapat kurikulum pendidikan karakter yang membuat 18 nilai kurikulum yang harus diajarkan kepada siswa. COVID-19, era pandemik ini menyadarkan kita bahwa sesungguhnya banyak nilai-nilai karakter yang belum terakomodir oleh kurikulum. Mungkin ini juga terjadi di daerah lain. Kita menyiapkan siswa kita untuk menjadi siswa yang tangguh, memiliki karakter yang tangguh dalam menghadapi problem tadi, ketakutan, kebosanan. Ini belum muncul atau ini belum mendapat perhatian yang cukup banyak. Sehingga pada kondisi seperti ini, hal itu muncul, siswa kita jarak jauh, guru juga tetap memperhatikan beberapa hal yang hal-hal seperti next, Miss Zahra. Transcendental curriculum process.
Excuse me. You have 2 minutes more. I'm sorry.
Okay. Transcendental curriculum process. Okay. Bagaimana proses melakukan kurikulum transadental? Nomor 1, know self, kenali diri. Man ana, kenali diri. Siapa diri kita? Nomor 2, know Allah, His creation, mengenal Allah dan semua ciptaannya. Nomor 3, being civilized and useful for the other. Kemudian bagaimana kita mengaplikasikannya dalam akhlakul karim. Oke, next. Next, Mrs. Zahra. Finally, with someone has morality and benefit to others, or still we are know is or her identity as knowing Allah as the sovereign. The release to heal or see is nobody, because everything belongs to the Almighty One, Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Value in transcendental mengantarkan manusia pada puncak keilmuan. Puncak keilmuan adalah bagaimana mengenal Allah, bagaimana mengenal diri, bagaimana mengenal berakhlakul karimah. Yang utama di hadapan Allah adalah mereka yang berakhlakul karimah. Dan value transcendental mengantarkan kita kepada sebaik-baik umat, yaitu umat yang memberikan manfaat bagi ini. Miss Zahra. Allah ya kulha wa huwa yahdi sabil. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Hatur nuhun pisan Ibunda. Thank you. I can sum up for the presentation of Dr. Pupu that remote learning has to promote spiritual aspect to be a civilized person and to be good, to recall a good all the time. Yes? Okay, a goodness all the time. I mean that. Okay. Then we would like to step into the next speaker. Hope that he had joined us. I invite Professor Khalid Ismail Mustafa. Are you with us? Prof. Khalid?
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, how are you today?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, we are waiting for you. Okay, please, the time right now is for you to present some of the presentation that you.
Okay, thank you very much. After 15 years, we can see you again.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Waalaikumsalam.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. Thank you very much for this chance to talk to the nice people. I am Khalid Ismail from Kurdistan of Iraq. I want to give you some information about the academic skills, how to improve students' academic skills. So I think I have 15 minutes if I'm not mistaken. 15 minutes I have to talk, huh? I have chance only 15 minutes.
Yes, 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Actually, before I start, there's some predisposition about the topic. I want to explain about the academic skills in remote learning. Actually, let's first start what means by academic skills. Academic skills, actually, it is the aspects or features of the behavior learned by students while studying at any educational institution that are required to operate successfully. So the students, they should have certain skills like problem solving skills, analytic ability, effective communication, which is very, very necessary, creativity and innovation. So creativity and innovation also is necessary for students to be successful. If you check now the slide number, I guess is slide number 2, some predisposition should be offered for students. First, actually, first one, which is very, very necessary. Now we are in COVID-19. People are suffering, I'm sure, in Indonesia and around third world, around the globe, especially in Iraq, in Indonesia, in some countries like that. The students, they are suffering from lack of financial support, electricity services, internet services. So this one predisposition we have to take into consideration when we want to try improve their skills. The first thing we have to do this kind, I name challenges, how we can motivate students. Because if you fail to motivate students, as is happening in Kurdistan of Iraq, now all students, they boycott the system of online learning, almost they boycott, because they are not motivated, the internet service is not available or is very weak. Electricity also is problem, internet services are providing educational apps, also this application is also not available. If available, you have to pay. This we have some kind of difficulties, you have to prepare that good foundation for that. And also learning environment at home. This are another challenge because not all students, they have good space for study or learning online. Also, this another challenge you have to take in consideration. Also, some another education equipments like smartphone, laptop, iPhone, etc. should be also. Another things that we face this kind of difficulties actually, the students, they don't have enough skills to use this kind of educational apps for learning because they know how to use the mobile for the game, for the checking their emails, but they have not enough good skills to use this kind of digital technologies for the educational purposes. The first thing that for me, this we have to know that with this one, what we are doing actually, it is not online learning. It is supporting e-learning rather than online learning because actually we study about 80% of the course, it is face-to-face in the class, but now because of the COVID-19, we try to use technologies that providing online. So, okay, academic skills, that the first academic skill is necessary for the student. Actually, it is slide number 5, if it's possible. Slide number 5. Academic skills are made up of the core skills, such as, please just go to slide number 5.
Slide number 5.
Yeah, next slide. Okay. This one also, yeah, is true, it's good. Academic discourse, the students, should they have this kind of skills? Because, you know, COVID-19 came without Salaam Alaikum, directly entered. Yeah, we are actually, the world was not ready for this, such a kind of challenge. The skills of communicating in debate, how they communicate, especially students in, according to my experience from Indonesia and Malaysia, the students, they feel shy to communicate face to face with the teacher, with the students. So this is also another challenge for teachers, how to encourage students to communicate, especially orally. We don't have problem with the typing, because the typing, it is easier than talking to the teacher, and how we can express our feeling, our information, how we discuss, how to present, because this is also another challenge we have to take in consideration to be our teaching online successfully. The second one, which is the text, academic text strategies. How the students, they take the notes. For us, for social sciences, human sciences, it is much better. But how about the applied science? Like engineering, they have chemical, biology, physics, chemistry. This actually is a little bit difficult, how they take the notes, because normally they do, they need the lab, they do some kind of the test. It is not easy. Number three, that also is necessary, time management. Time management is another skill. How to you manage what time? Now here we are in Kurdistan. The course, special myself and other teachers also, we try to teach them after Salat Zuhr, because it's Ramadan, people are sleeping morning. So this is another challenge, how to manage the time for them. This also in Ramadan also, it is difficult for students to be engaged. This another academic strategy, skill for understanding and responding critically to the lecture. From my knowledge, once I was teaching, I have 52 students, 27 online, but 7, they were active. They talked to me. The rest, they opened their mobile actually, and they left. Because when I say introduce yourself, salam alaikum, only 7 answered. The rest is not there, out of 52. It's also another challenge, which is also difficult. And some basic technical skills, which is if in slide, the next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay.
Yes.
No, it's number 5. It's number 6. Go back, please.
Yes.
Okay. Basic technical skills, which is online learners need to success. These need some kind of basic skills, special. Maybe for Indonesian, they have no problem to alphabetic that they use for them, but here we are using Arabic alphabetic, which is not, actually it is crucial. Some people are trying to hack the website. Just yesterday I was reading in one class, I think in UK or US, someone hacked their website and published some not suitable information there. This is another challenge actually, because the students, they are not aware to using websites or online effectively. There's the chance to be hacked. Also, the system must be taken into consideration the such of challenges. So these basic technical needs, teachers also they need. This also, actually this, as I said, the technology, it is modern technology or digital technology is not difficult, but we bring this one, which calls supporting e-learning to the class, it has become a little bit challenge, because Zoom, before COVID-19 was the users only about 10 million. Now it's reached about 200 million. Of course, this will be some kind, another challenge for the users. Next slide. Number 6, it's also composition skills for effective academic writing. This is another challenge also for students actually. Also, how they go to the write, how they take the notes will be another challenge, because There's no face-to-face. Teacher cannot control them as inside the class. They cannot ask the question while teacher is explaining, because it is difficult, especially if you have big number of the students in the class. Also, this another challenge. Next slide, please. Number 7, comprehension. Okay, skills for the understanding academic texts and lectures. This also, because of this, some other challenge. The sound is not clear. The student they cannot hear very well. There's also technical problem. This also, and we as a lecturer, when we teach, we cannot evaluate, assess inside the class directly the student they are understanding or not, because we don't have enough time. We don't have, for example, 3 hours to talk. We have only for 5 minutes. Students they cannot listen while teacher talking is online. It is just from experiences. Still not needs study to be done for the future to be more active. Next slide, please. Okay,
Yes.
this another skills I think it's very, very necessary. We have to encourage students to learn on their own, which is called self-paced learning. This skill also, it is necessary, but it is actually, they should know some international language like English, like French, like any other language that's necessary for them, and they should be skillful in using the technology. And also, this from the student side, from our side, the universities, we must provide enough search engine for students to access. Information should be provided for them. Library, digital library, students, they have access to them. This also another challenge that we have to take into consideration for success online learning for the future. Next slide, please. Okay, this I don't say 100%, but we ignored actually students' mental health or psychological challenges for them. Especially they have anxious, this anxiety about study, anxiety about result, anxiety about how to assess them, which kind of strategy we have to follow to assess students. Because of the COVID-19, this socially they cannot be gathered together. They have to be separate. So this another challenge, and how we can them to give them enough motivation to stay with us while we are teaching. As I said, from 52 students I was teaching them, 27 were online and only 7 they were active. The rest they left. They left mobile on, and I don't know what they are doing. And they should have some kind of flexibility, because suddenly there's technical problems, suddenly there's electricity blackout. I'm talking about the Kurdistan of Iraq, because we don't have 25 hours electricity services. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please.
Okay. Students, and I couldn't hear anything. I think I have no. Just give me two minutes if it's talking about me.
Yes.
Assistance. Students can require help from the teachers. What time they can get advice, ask help from the teacher, or they get the help from the teacher if they have assignment. For myself, I have to use another application like Facebook, like Messenger, like Viber, another thing I have to, or mobile, to talk to them, to explain for them. If they, some of them, they do research. They need to gather information, the data from the samples. This also another difficulties. How they can access to the resources. Also, we have to take in consideration this challenge. The last one is assessment, skills for improving exam preparation. For the teacher, actually, how we can prepare, the first. The second, how we can give to students, how we can organize, how we can give them marks. It is a big issue, actually, assessment students online. Because some of them, for example, for the primary schools, it's difficult for them. Some question might be just multiple choice, how you can give them, how they answer. This is also another difficulties for these students. Actually, I have another idea, slide is that they talk about an Islamic perspective for the hierarchy of needs. that is necessary. We just know it's about the Maslow. Maslow, it is not from an Islamic perspective. I have a research, maybe next time, inshallah, I have time to share with you to discuss about an Islamic perspective for the hierarchy of needs, which is necessary students to stay motivated and be success in their study. This is all what I have. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Waalaikumsalam
barakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Brother Khalid.
warahmatullah.
Thank you, Prof. Khalid. Okay, we can sum up that 11 core skills in academic skills. Yes, the first is communicating scores. Next, strategies of using notes, time management, understanding others, basic technology, using skills, effective composition, comprehension of the topic, self-paced mental health, assistance, and also the last is assessment. Thank you. And then we would like to step into this, the last speaker we have today. She is Indonesian diplomat from Turkey, Elizabeth Diana Dewi. Okay. Yes, are you here?
Yes, could you hear my voice, Sada?
Yes, yes, I can hear your voice. Okay, thank you for joining us. And okay, actually, Elizabeth, among us are university students. Can you suggest us what is social skills? Social skills to stay at base to have a remote learning. Okay, the time is for you.
Thank you. Dear Honorable Vice Chancellor of Djuanda University, Honorable resource persons, teachers, staff, and students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Professor Sadri, wa yassirli amri, wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, Allahumma shalli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And final remark from my beloved moderator, Ustazah Zahra, the Dean of the Faculty of Education of Djuanda University. I'm happy to meet you today. Allow me also to greet my beloved seniors, mentor, teacher, and friend from International Islamic University Malaysia, Professor Mimi, Professor Sonny. I would like also to greet Professor Khalid and Dr. Pupu Fauziah. It is actually true to be told that I'm happy to be invited to share my ideas and experience. But the most important thing that I can learn from all of you today, this is indeed a very big event. Congratulations to Djuanda University, this event. After all, I'm so grateful and honored that in the beginning of this challenging year, we have this such important event, because the purpose of this program is not only to highlight the problem, but also to find solution and best practices that are widely applicable. So thank you. Social skills of remote learning for higher education. So this is the topic that is trusted to me. I will make a disclaimer at the beginning. Since I will deliberate this topic from the perspective of the professional as Indonesian representative in Turkey, currently reside for the next 3.5 years and deal with part of Indonesian nationals' affairs, particularly consular matters, also facing their challenges and opportunities in this pandemic crisis, particularly in time of remote learning. Next slide, please.
Next slide. Next slide.
So yes, and this is the outline of my presentation before the slide before, Ustazah.
The slides before. Okay.
Yes, I would like to present to you about brief fact the implementation of remote learning policy in Turkey, the impact of remote learning on the development of social skills. As I mentioned before, that now currently Indonesian students and students all across Turkey are also facing the current phenomenon of remote learning, but on the other side, they also need to develop their social skills and their social competence as well. The next thing I will also try to present about social skill for higher education opportunities in the era of remote learning and the conclusion. Next slide, please, Zulhuda.
Next slide.
Yes, please. Okay, since the first phase of the implementation of remote learning as the response to curb the spread of coronavirus, all higher institution or higher education institution all across the globe need to implement remote learning as distant learning, including the higher education institution in Turkey. According to data compiled by another agency, this is an education institution in Turkey, the novel coronavirus has hampered education for more than 184 countries, for about 1.5 billion students are affected, or about 87% of students across the globe. So as the response, Turkey has become the second country after China to introduce nationwide distance educations. What I mean as a nationwide education institution means that Turkey not only depends on the applications such as Zoom, Gmeet, or other application, but they already introduced developing the platform for education, what they call as EDA, that is available online and on TV. This program not only is supported by government themselves, but the government also call for the participation of private institutions, where three huge mobile operators in Turkey allocate 8 gigabytes, for free for each student, so they can access e-learning. So the students, the families, not only led by themselves to manage their financial need to access e-learning, but the government and this private institution give them allocation as well. More than that, what amazed me, government also set up psychosocial support center beside this huge nationwide education system. The psychosocial support center is online platform and on phone call basis to help students and families to alleviate the impact of the outbreak. In this online system, the government provide the expert where they can reach the families or students that need the consultation about what they need, what the problem they face. So the government do not let the student and families face the problem of psychosocial by themselves. Next slide, please, Zulhuda.
Yes.
Okay. Other thing, government in terms of the international students, more than thousands of international students got the scholarship from the government on Turkey, including the students from Indonesia. There are more than 1,500 Indonesian students currently enrolled in many various universities across Turkey, where the government of Turkey decide to continue allocating budget for them. So they didn't cut the scholarship for these international students. Even they add more budget allocation for the stipend fee, so that students can also fulfill their basic needs since they have to stay at home. And another thing, on behalf of what I do daily as the representative of Indonesian government in Turkey, we also provide necessary supporting program for Indonesian students. As you know that we currently substitute the role of the parent for the Indonesian students. We also allocate program budget allocation for more than 1,500 Indonesian students all across Turkey. Not only that, when they need some logistic support, we also send to them logistic support such as rice and other daily basic needs, medication, but also the various program that can be accessed on daily basis. As you may see from this first picture, this is the picture of my ambassador, Professor Dr. Lalu Muhammad Iqbal. He has a direct conversation with the Professor Abdul Ehran, President of YTB, the education institution that gives scholarship for Indonesian students, where Professor Abdul Ehran guarantee that scholarship will still continue to be given to Indonesian students. And to guarantee the peace of mind for Indonesian students, we also conduct weekly basis virtual meeting with students all across Turkey. So hopefully our role as a substitute for the parent role for the Indonesian student can be fulfilled completely. Next slide, please, Ustazah.
Next slide.
And then now, this is about the impact of remote learning on the development of social skill. Social skills are known as interpersonal or soft skill. This is the skills that actually we use it to communicate with others, either verbally or non-verbally. These skills are allow a person to interact and to act appropriately in a given social context. And these skills include how to cope with the problem, how we make friends. These skills are important, and the process of learning the skill is called socialization. But what about in this time of isolation or remote learning, where the students are forced to stay at home, isolate themselves from the outside environment? Can they still develop their social skills, or what can we do? Actually, from the previous presentation by Professor Mimi and Professor Khalid, I got the conclusion that when schools attend systematically to students' social and emotional skill, the academic achievement also increase, and the incidence of problem behavior also decrease, and the quality of relationship between the students and their peers also getting better. So social skill actually will prevent the student from unnecessary behavior, to keep them stay out of trouble, and contribute to their potentials. But what about in this time of the era of remote learning? What can we do next? Ustazah, next slide.
Yes, next. Next, please.
Yes. So some argue that the remote learning is contradict with the social skills development. Actually, the learning was actually designed for the purpose for the purposeful and disciplined students, because there is no direct contact with the lecturer, which may increase the demand for them to work independently. At the beginning, before the pandemic crisis, we actually already introduced to this type of learning, the blended learning, where beside the face-to-face education, the children also can get the e-learning type of education. And the student that choose to this type of education, e-learning, it is actually majority of them are disciplined students who can manage their time independently. So remote learning and social skills development can actually work hand in hand together. There is no problem between developing social skills and while at the same time we have to do this remote learning. As long as it is designed comprehensively, remote learning in higher education can teach students skills and competencies of developing professional skills, such as the skill of study, the ability to plan or organize, time management, and other things. The most important things, school programs such what has been implemented in Turkey, the platform should cover these four elements. If you may say, if you may see from my picture, social skills, social and emotional behavior, learning, and well-being. In Turkey, before they start the learning, there are some short survey where the teacher through this online platform ask the well-being of the students, whether they are happy, what's the problem they feel, and what are the teachers or parents can do together to manage these problems. And actually, as the generation that are so used to technology, this generation Z, not like us, generation beyond millennials, they are so used to the technology, where 93% of them know how to operate the platform. So it is not problem for the younger generation right now to use this technology and this type of platform. Next slide, please, Ustazah.
Yes.
Referring to the internet penetration in Indonesia, still, although we are now used to the using of technology to implement learning, Still, 65% of users are centered in Java. What about the other island? What about the user of technology of information in other island? Still become the challenge for the government and other companies, other institutions, how to manage this problem. So we should not depend on the application that which are available. We should actually develop the platform that will support students to study at home and to develop social skills as well. Next slide, Ustazah, please.
Thank you. You have 2 more minutes.
Okay.
You have 2 more minutes. Yes.
All right, thank you. And then for Generation Z, you are also Generation M. This is the terminology introduced by Salim Jan Muhammad. You are special generation because one overriding characteristic, you have one overriding characteristic, which is belief being faithful and living a modern life go hand in hand. Instead of only living your modern life with technology, you also can be faithful. Remember the theme of transcendental belief delivered by Dr. Pupu before, and there is absolutely no contradiction between these two. Next slide, Ustazah.
Yes.
Okay.
Next slide, please.
Yes. Social skills for higher education. So what are the opportunities? It is time actually to radically rethink the student experience, both academically and socially. As a student, you have to maximize your interaction with faculty. The university also should pay attention to this. You have to maximize student-faculty interaction, optimize lots of mentoring, seminars, and tutorials. So today tutorials is very good. Congratulations. Next, simplify the first year experience. Make the first year experience as interesting and engaging as possible. Offer the student with the program that will make them acknowledge the role of the peers. And make high impact practice as an integral part of the academic experience. So you should invite more popular guest speaker like what we did. We invite Najwa Shihab to speak in front of Indonesian students. We got more than 1,000 participants in webinar. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Other opportunity that may be implemented by you. Emphasize skill building and project-based learning. We have the program online where we have a competition for Indonesian students in making short movie. Maybe it can be implemented or have already implemented in Djuanda University. Create virtual environment where students who share common interests can interact. We have like music concert online by Indonesian students in Turkey, but we also invite the musician from Indonesia. Pair continuing students with newly admitted students or alumni with more advanced students to discuss career. So the university can help and provide platform for the student with the same interest in career so they can interact for their future career. And create virtual event, let us celebrate student inventiveness and creativity. Next slide as a conclusion.
Yes.
Since I know that Djuanda University is the campus, the motto is campus bertauhid. What should we do next in this pandemic time? Strengthen your Islamic knowledge. Further your innovation, innovate or die. Innovation is not merely only making robots, making technology, but it is about mindset to bring change, positive change based on Islamic worldview. Ponder over action by linking it to the hereafter and its consequences. Carry dakwah. Keep good company. You are on your own now. You are on remote learning, though you have been provided with the platform, with the application, but we don't know what you have done when there is no parent beside you and the teacher all over there. So keep good company. Carry dakwah. Value your youth and time, and with Allah is all success. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Elizabeth, Diana, Dewi. Okay, I'm very interested in what do you say, Generation M? I'm sure, but that I'm not in that criteria of Generation M. Too old to be called as Generation M. Yes. Okay, I can sum up that strengthen transcendental knowledge, give innovation using multi-platforms. I think that, yes. Okay, all audience, right now we step into the discussion forum. Now we give a chance to all audience, yes, to ask directly to the speakers, but please be straight to the point, short and clear, yes. For the first, we have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. Please.
Okay, Bu Zahra. I
Yes.
am Mita from Djuanda University. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
please. Yes, yes, I can hear. I can hear you, Miss Mita. Yes, please.
Okay.
To whom do you want to address your question?
Yes, I want to make my question to Prof. Khalid and
Yes.
Elizabeth. Two speakers, is it right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. For the first question for the to Prof. Khalid, I would like to ask about, I'm interested for the slide too. Prof. Khalid, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 please.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I'm interested for your second slide about the challenge and what is that? This, I forget about it. About the second slide. Yes, you're right. I have research for the current research. In my research, I did about what is the effect particular in the instruction for my student. Before we have to study with the blended learning system, and now we have to study with full daring. And what you present at the slide second slide, I mean, it's very interesting because mostly of my result from my research is it's according to your in your second slide about the what is that motivated student, skill teacher, internet, etc. I mean, it's 5 aspects, right? And I want to ask you about what is the effect from your point from your opinion relate to this slide. What is the impact for maybe for the instruction, social, and the psychology? What is your opinion about this impact? I mean. Okay, and then to Elizabeth, I want to ask you about the social skill student when they have to study with the full daring. And in Djuanda University, we have a blended learning system, and now we have to change to be full daring. So one of my impact from my recent research is about the social skill. My students have to have opinion about the social skill, and they tend to that the blended learning is more interactive than full daring. So what you say about your presentation about social skill, it's proof from my research that yeah, social skill now they have limitation about how to interact with other without face-to-face learning, and now they have to learn with online learning, something like that. So it's a big impact for the social skill. And what your opinion about that? Thank you, Madam Zahra.
Sister Zahra?
I think this. Hello?
Sister Zahra?
Oh. Maybe signal, Prof.
Okay.
I think.
Prof, can you hear us?
Yes, very well.
Yes, okay. Okay, please.
I didn't understand her question. Actually, it was a long comment than question, so I didn't understand precisely what she wants me to answer.
Okay. Please just be short and clear, Miss Vita. Okay.
Okay. What is your opinion what is your opinion about the what is the effect of the aspect, the 5 aspect in your second slide for the instruction, from the instruction aspect, psychologist, or maybe social aspect?
On students.
Yes, of course.
Okay, the first one, as if you check, it is actually 3 parts. Part related to the students, part related to the teacher, part related to the system or the institution. If students are not motivated, the process will not be successful. These are according about psychology. So how we can motivate the students? We should provide for them. First, the teacher must be skillful. They know how to deal with the students online, how they offer the information. It's very necessary. You have to take into consideration the psychological background of the students, because many students, they are suffering. You know, their father, they don't have job, they don't have salary, there's difficult electricity. So they have to be very soft. They have to be very nice, flexible with them. This is the point. If you, as a teacher, you could deal with the students as a friend, if you could provide them the information in the way that students they can accept, understand, I guess that the process will be to some extent successful. It is. We should put in our mind that online distance learning, all kind of such electronic learning, cannot replace the teacher. So this is necessary. So we have to be very soft, very kind. When we talk with the student, when we give them information, we should give them very short, very clear, very precise, without details. Hope it's, I answered your question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prof. Khalid. Next question. Yes, next question, Elizabeth.
Yes, thank you, Usada. Thank you, Ms. Mita, for your question. What can I conclude from your question is, please do these 3 things. Learn from successful place, learn from successful country. As I've previously mentioned that there are 2 countries that are successful in introducing and developing their educational platform, which is China and Turkey. You can learn from the Turkey. They are very open heart and open-minded. And do the extra work. Conduct survey. Ask the students what the activities they need, what the most interesting activities they need that can be actually implemented online or full daring. And conduct extra communication with parents. I also the parent from my daughter that currently enrolled in Turkey school. Almost every week I have the communication with the teacher, since they also conduct the survey every week from what I previously mentioned, the emotional and well-being of the students. They maintain it with me. So the result of the survey can be used as the reference where they can develop the system to be better. And do more interesting and engaging the activities as possible with students, where they can interact with the peers. As I also mentioned in my slide, we have conduct the program called making a short movie competition, and we have the concert online. This is very interesting. This is the new things for them. You know, like to manage them to you know, like together at the same time, making the new music, making the new songs, and give the prize for it. It is also extraordinary. So these 3 things can be used as breakthrough from just usual online program. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, okay, next we have here Diana Widirahmawati. Are you here, Diana Widirahmawati? To whom do you want to address your question? You raise your hand. Diana? Okay, Rosa Murwindra? Rosa Murwindra? Okay, then I open to all participants, all audience. Anyone still have any question or still, yes? Still wanna have a clear or more, a deeper explanation about the topics. Okay, some of the audience are asking about the presence list, or in which they have to note their presence. So I think you can go to this link, yes, to note your presence and also to claim your certificate. Okay, we will inform you later about it. But I open again the chance for all the audience. Yes, Diana Widi Rahmawati. Oh, you're live. Okay, Rosa Murwindra. Oh, Diana cancel. Okay. Okay, then I want to ask to Dr. Pupu. Are you still with us, Bunda? Okay. Yes. What method to build the values of the transcendental in classroom? Dr. Pupu?
Okay.
You hear us? Yes. Okay. Okay. While waiting for the audience to ask some questions, I also want to ask the question to you about what method to build the values of the transcendental in the classroom. Bagaimana caranya membangun nilai-nilai tauhid dalam kelas.
Okay, thank you, Zahra.
Yes.
Ini yang bertanya dari Bogor ya? Halo? Oke. Metode itu sepenuhnya menjadi kreativitas seorang guru. Bagaimana dia memberikan kemudahan kepada siswanya untuk memahami materi-materi yang disampaikan. Banyak cara yang bisa dilakukan guru dan tidak mesti sama caranya, tetapi kalau kita mau melihat metode yang disampaikan oleh Al-Quran, nomor satu metode yang paling tepat untuk menyampaikan nilai-nilai tauhid adalah keteladanan. Bagaimana guru menjadi model. Selanjutnya adalah metode-metode yang lain untuk situasi COVID seperti ini, di mana memang anak-anak cenderung muda, saya lebih suka menyampaikan ini dalam bentuk kisah atau cerita. Dalam Al-Quran disebut dengan metode al-kisah atau al-kisos. Bagaimana kita bercerita, menyampaikan cerita-cerita keteladanan sehingga nilai-nilai transandental atau nilai-nilai tauhid yang ingin kita sampaikan kepada anak-anak menjadi sebuah hiburan, menjadi sesuatu yang menyenangkan bagi dia, dan dia tidak jenuh atau tidak boring. Untuk anak-anak SD itu saya kira lebih tepat. Tadi juga sudah disampaikan oleh para pembicara, banyak metode-metode menarik. Bagaimana anak-anak diajak membuat sebuah kompetisi. Bagaimana melalui sebuah dramatisasi. Konser yang dilakukan secara online. Yang penting adalah isinya. Isi materi itu adalah memberikan pemahaman kepada mereka bahwa ada nilai-nilai transandental, nilai-nilai ketuhanan yang harus mereka pahami, yang itu bisa menjadi sebuah kekuatan untuk mereka menghadapi berbagai kesulitan, khususnya pada masa COVID. Cemas, takut, bosan, kemudian juga mungkin cenderung frustasi, tidak mau belajar, hilang konsentrasi. Buatlah semua itu menjadi sesuatu yang menyenangkan dan menggembirakan. Apapun metodenya, silakan dibuat. Yang penting bahagia. Oke, thank you, Miss Ina.
Yes, you are welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Terima kasih atas penjelasannya, Ibunda. And next, I want to deliver the question from Muna from Uin Antasari, asking about the tips how to overcome the willing and thought of the students with difficult to do online learning. Okay, maybe I want to address this question to Prof. Sonny to answer. Yes, Prof. Okay, or Prof Mimi first. Prof Mimi.
Okay, all right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To respond to the question from Khairiatul, yeah, from Uin Antasari, yeah?
Uin Antasari.
Yeah, feelings and thoughts of our students, not our. There should be a very clear line here. The question is on the feeling and thought of the students, not feeling and thought of us as the educators. Am I right? Yeah. So there are a few strategies here, to my humble opinion, right? We always refer to our Islamic perspective when we discuss on feeling and thought. Yeah, there are a few things that we in Islam we discuss how to come up with a good solution for our children, right? So if we go back to the Shaykhul Islam, the Ibn Taymiyyah, yeah, we can go to the book of his very famous book, yeah, Garden Purification, yeah. So it includes Iman, yeah, Tawheed, Iman, and so on and so forth. So he mentioned about being a true servant of Allah, yeah. It reflects the understanding not only to ourselves, but also to our children or our students, yeah. Meaning that, as Dr. Pupu mentioned earlier, it's a very good point from Dr. Pupu. So everyone has a capacity. Psychologically, everybody is different, right? So as an educator, probably to my opinion, we must understand the nature. Even Madam Elizabeth also mentioned the same thing, the nature of our recipient. Without understanding the nature of the recipient, we do not know the psychology of our learners, and we also don't know the psychology of ourselves. Yeah. So the first thing is we control the thought and feeling of ourselves. To be a true slave, Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned, to be a true slave, we really have to increase iman and taqwa, definitely. Because in Surah Al-Hujurat, Allah mentioned in the verse number 11, yeah, so, and verse number 13, I'm sorry, verse number 13. Among those, yeah, the highest degree is the taqwa. So meaning that taqwa implies something that we have to obey, right? So meaning an educator, we also the servant of Allah, yeah, we obey, right? So by having that kind of how to say, yeah, reciprocal, yeah, meaning that mutual understanding from the educators and the children, we will understand definitely the thought and the behavior or the feeling of our students. Yeah, so very interesting from Madam Elizabeth from Turkey's experience. Yeah, that I can just also learn, yeah, a lot from the experience, right? So when we reflect the tendency, yeah, or perhaps to understand our children, yeah, the first tip that I can recommend is, yes, be closer to Allah. We bring them to be close to Allah. Yeah, the idea of Tawheed, Dr. Pupu earlier mentioned, the idea of Tawheed here is to make them, to ensure, yeah, the capacity of taqwa here. How to do that? Very simple, inshallah, very easy. Yeah, we have to communicate to the children most of the times. By communicating, yeah, this is the second tip from my humble opinion. By communicating, yeah, the more we communicate, the better it is. Because in Islam, the Prophet Muhammad SAW always mentioned the method of shura, yeah, and the advice, nasiha, ad-dinu nasiha, yeah. So when we continuously provide nasiha to the young children, because the young children is very fragile. Young children are very fragile. They are, you know, their behavior fluctuates, yeah. Iman is up and down. Even us, the adult,
Yes.
the educators, yeah, iman is up and down. So in order to bring our own self, communication, again, Imam Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, yeah, in another perspective of ABC theory in Islamic psychology, he mentioned about how this waswasa, yeah, the feeling of worried from our student, the feeling of khawatir, yeah, as it is described in Surah An-Nas, yeah, al-khannas, we have to get away from al-khannas, yeah, in our chest. So that particular component, yeah, in order to occupy the feeling and the thought of our children or our students, yeah, this implementation we have to do, right? So meaning that, so as ABC therapy provided by Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, yeah, so Probably the Westerners, we all know the Western theory, yeah. ABC therapy is provided by Albert Ellis, yeah. So, however, this Albert Ellis actually adopted from Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah, yeah. So, our perspective in Islam very clear and obvious, yeah. How this concealing thought in psychology we call it, as Professor Dr. Malik Badri, yeah, mentioned about the therapy, yeah, for ABC. Concealing thought, yeah, is actually the negative indication. So how do we know negative indication from our children? We communicate with them, yeah? So being a true slave, again, I come back to Ibn Taymiyyah, being a true slave is to deliberate, yeah? The moment that we understand the condition of our children, we will understand the feeling of thought that they will express, yeah? So there are so many tips that we can share. Probably we don't have enough time.
Yes.
I would love to
Yes.
share, inshallah, yeah?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you,
I make
Prof. Maybe for your
pleasure.
sharing. Yes. Okay. Maybe I also want to hear from Prof. Sonny. Yes, Prof. Sonny, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you. May I have the question?
Okay, the question is actually this is for general and become your maybe the final statement also.
Oh, closing statement. Sorry. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the closing statement.
Is it closing statement? Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Sorry, because I realized there was no specific issues directed to me. So, as a closing statement, that will be great. I believe we are all embracing to a new norm wherever we are and whatever we are doing. And the university is in the forefront of it because, as we always know, university is the agent for change. Yeah, the agent for change, and university must always be in the forefront. We are educating people. We have this responsibility to keep on educating people. And if remote teaching and remote or online lifestyle is the option to go in your future, then we from university must be at the forefront. We must show, we must become the qudwa, we must provide the model, the best model on how to go through with this new norms, with these new norms in teaching, learning, and so on. That will be all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Sonny, for joining us. Then next, maybe the closing statement too from Prof. Khalid. Prof. Khalid.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Actually, it is this is a big challenge for all of us. How we deal with this new situation and welcoming guest of virus 19. But this is a challenge. We have to be ready for everything. As Brother Sonny said, I say salam alaikum to Brother Sonny. This is also more than 15 years I didn't speak him.
Wa alaikum salam, Doctor. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. So the university actually, it is Mahathir Muhammad. He said there's a lot of difficulties and challenges, but there's only one key to solve all these problems, which is education. So through the education, we can change the society. And a good model, sincerity, good plan, and depend on Allah, because human development, they all focus on the skills, our skills. We forgot Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the change is not coming just from inside, it's coming from outside. So thank you for this chance for me to talk to all nice people and to see you again, and hope we have another chance to talk, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Yes, inshallah. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Prof. Khalid. Okay. And because of the limited time, I think the sharing that has given by Dr. Siti Pupu and also Madam Elizabeth Diana Dewi, I think it's Prof. Mimi, it's quite clear from all of the speakers. And now I think finally we reached last minutes of our forum today, and we will like to
ask all the audience to give a big round of applause for our outstanding speakers today, please. Yes, yes, and please be noticed that make sure every participant would give his or her feedbacks for our webinar today, which will be sent. The link will be sent to your emails to get or to claim your certificates. Okay, we will inform you later. And thank you for all of your kind cooperation and attention. Sorry for any inconvenience. Thank you, all the audience. Keep safe and stay healthy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Madam Zahra.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Unida.
much.
Thank you.
And my sisters, Ibet from in Turkey now. Thank you.
Ibet, how are
Thank you.
Kak Mimi, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Sonny.
And Brother
Very
Khalid,
much.
Speakers, yes.
and also all the speakers, the
Thank
speaker
you.
from Unida and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid also. Give my
Thank you.
salam to your mom, Dr. Khalid.
Ya, Insyaallah,
Yes.
Insyaallah.
Ditunggu di Istanbul.
Siap, siap, Insyaallah.
Alhamdulillah, Mbak Elizabeth.
Terima kasih.
Alhamdulillah.
Salam dari Nita, Ibet.
Iya, salam,
Kak Mimi.
salam. Buat Kak Dita, buat Om Zulfan.
Insyaallah, Ibet,
Ya,
insyaallah.
Buat Om
Terima
Hotam
kasih
juga.
nih, Zahra atas organization of this event.
Salam dari
Reuni ya,
Ibu
Terima kasih, Reuni.
Alhamdulillah.
Terima kasih, terima kasih.
Terima kasih,
Terima kasih
Dr.
semua
Pupu.
para
Terima
peserta.
kasih, Dr.
belajar-belajar
Pupu.
Saya pamit ya.
Pamit,
Ya.
pamit.
Saya juga pamit ya.
Pamit ya.
Wassalamualaikum
Sama-sama.
Terima kasih
warahmatullahi
Ustazah
wabarakatuh.
Zahra, Ibu belajar banyak.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mbak, link sertifikatnya nggak bisa, Mbak?
Ada gambar bunda. Ayah nggak begitu.